So yes, you're hanging out with the Super Radio Brothers. It's and that's the toilet. Excuse me. It is a playoff night with the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs. Trent's beloved Tampa Bay Lightning in a 1-1 tie with the Florida Panthers as we start the news. And of course, Trent, we always start with the poop news. That's
absolutely. I hope it's not poop news when the at the end of this game, because that could be a poop story if the Lightning end up blowing a 1-0 lead and end up losing the contest. I just jinxed it. I can't say that.
Oh, I'm pumped up. I want to hear your live reaction of pain once they lose here, or if they lose, I should say. Yeah.
You might hear SOB. No, you won't hear any of that. But, you might.
If you need a shoulder to cry on, I'm sure our audience is more than willing to be that shoulder for you, if that's what.
Yeah.
Oh, and Trent, by the way, the Florida Panthers are going on a 2-minute power play with 3:23 left in the game. So, oof,
thanks.
Big time moment here.
Our penalty kill's been pretty decent lately, so we'll see.
Big time moment here at the end of this playoff game, and a big time moment for some people, Trent, out in Oklahoma now. Oklahoma. As you know, I'm sure, there are a couple of different ways that you can blow up your toilet.
I'm sure there are, but I haven't thought about blowing up my toilet.
I've thought about it a lot, actually. And I think my favorite method would involve a burrito and a milkshake. I mean, explosive.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, when you take one, absolutely. Blowing up a toilet, I blow up my toilet all the time.
So there you go. Thanks for that, Trent. It happens often. It's. I don't think about it a lot. However, it does happen often. So why do you have to think about it when it's actually happening?
A burrito and a milkshake. Okay, I'll try that next time.
I mean, that's gonna get it done, dude. That's that toilet's done. You're gonna have to go to Home Depot right after that whole thing.
This is poop news, literally. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is what we do here, Trent. I don't know if you're familiar, but anyway, how about this? Talk about a truly explosive situation. Lightning. Speaking of the Tampa Bay Lightning destroyed a single toilet in an apartment building in Oklahoma. Whoa, come on. That's amazing. That toilet was cursed, man. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yeah. I know what you're thinking, Trent. No one was sitting on the toilet. So
yeah, I would hope not. Nobody was sitting on the toilet. Absolutely. Yeah, that would be strange.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's crazy. I mean, lightning blowing up a toilet. I mean, you don't think about it every day, but it can happen. I mean, that's people coming up with innovative ways to try to blow up their toilets. But I mean,
according to Fox 8, severe tornadoes and thunderstorms in parts of Oklahoma and Texas caused significant damage to some areas. In Okmulgee, a town near Tulsa, lightning took a different route, first striking the roof before coming through an exhaust fan and hitting one particular toilet inside an apartment unit. So I guess it traveled through the exhaust and then struck the toilet. A lightning bolt, Trent, as if it was sent by Zeus himself to strike that toilet. That's incredible. Come on, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, how about this, Trent? Did you know that photos, this might be the world's most famous toilet now, photos of the toilet have now taken the internet by storm. Get what I did there? And taking the internet by storm. I know, it's so good.
It's very innovative.
They show the toilet completely destroyed with charred pieces of it scattered across the floor below a black hole in the ceiling. So, wow. The Okmulgee fire lieutenant, Trent, he says that the incident is unexplainable and the Tampa Bay Lightning score with 0.9 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, boy.
Wow. That is dramatic as it gets.
Oh, let me turn on the radio. Let me see if I can hear, This is, and you can pronounce
With
this guy's
less
name
than a second left, the
because it's
Lightning.
Ross Colton scored the goal. That's an easy name to pronounce.
I was about to nail it. You didn't give me a chance.
I know.
Colton.
Holy crap.
Wow. How does that happen? Less than a second left. Oh, my
And
goodness.
it was all set up by Nikita Kucherov, too. And the Tampa Bay Lightning with 0.9 seconds. We could be up 2-0, baby. We're about to be. We're about to be. And all the experts, you're getting my live reaction right now. All the experts saying, "Oh, this is gonna be."
How come in your live reaction you turn into Howard Cosell or something? It's like, and yes, we have won the game. Do you do that?
We have won the game.
He went into your like classic announcer voice. He was like, I got confused. I was like, whoa, Trent turns into a different person when his team wins. They're actually putting 3.8 seconds back on the clock, but still, give me a break. This game is over.
We still have this in the bag, boys.
This is done. The face-off will be at the center circle. Oh, my goodness. It's over, Trent. How do you feel?
Great. I mean...
That's it? I mean...
Great. No, I mean, seriously. I mean, Florida had that goal that, like I said, the penalty kill has been great. Leading up to that goal, it was a fantastic, gorgeous heads-up plays by the Lightning. Just really made some excellent plays down the stretch. And, hey, they circumvented their iffy play early on with the game winner, and they're up 2-0.
I'm going to need you, Trent, to take my call there, which I think was top-notch, my goal call, and get it to the Tampa Bay people just so they can hear what they got here. Because let's be honest.
I mean...
That was an amazing call.
Can I put your goal call somewhere where, like, possibly the sun don't shine? Potentially.
Dude, come on! You gotta give me some credit here. I was able to deliver the moment to you. You know.
Oh, you were. I know, and I thank you.
I put my heart into that call, Trent. I really did. I gave you my all. I gave you everything I got with that call.
You did, but I'm gonna have to go back later and listen to the radio call. You know, the radio call is gonna be.
No, you don't have to because you just heard the best possible.
The Tampa Bay Lightning score. Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
Oh man, even though they look pathetic walking off the ice, man, those Panther jerseys are really nice. I dig them.
Thanks. So what were you saying about your photos now? You were in the middle of a story and all of a sudden the Lightning...
Well, I told you about the toilet that got destroyed by a lightning bolt. And according to the Okmulgee Fire Lieutenant, his name, by the way, of course, if you're the Okmulgee Fire Lieutenant, your name is Rocky Morrow. What a name. Trent, I've got big time news for you in the audience. I'm changing my name. Guess what I'm changing it to?
Rocky?
Rocky Morrow. It can't just be Rocky. You need the whole package there. It has to be
Rocky Morrow.
Rocky Morrow. Because they're basically telling people that there's going to be a rocky day tomorrow. Rocky Morrow. That quite literally might be the best name of all time. Fire Lieutenant Rocky Morrow. He called the incident unexplainable, Trent. So maybe it's an X-File, possibly aliens. There's a couple of different places you can go with that. But anyway, there you go. A toilet inexplicably was destroyed by lightning, yet somehow we aren't talking about this. Well, I guess we are.
You know what we are talking about? A homeowner witnessed a burglar come into his house, and the reason he tried to rob his house is because he was afraid of zombies. Zombies were trying to attack this guy. A homeowner in the UK woke up at 3 a.m. to the sound of someone looking through cabinet drawers in their house. The homeowner investigated and found a man in his living room. When the burglar spotted the homeowner, he ran but came back, explaining that zombies were trying to get him and he felt uncomfortable outside. By then, the homeowner's son was outside, and by the time he came back, of course, the homeowner's son woke up, and the two of those guys held him until police arrive.
Well,
Now,
I want to
it
know,
doesn't-
was he being chased by Romero zombies or 28 days later Danny Boyle zombies? Does it have that information there, Trent? It's very important.
It is unfortunately not. I need to contact the author and say that was a pivotal point in the story that they left out.
It's so because Trent, the Romero zombies are like a walking corpse. I mean, very slow moving, decrepit, falling apart. You can run around them. The only way a Romero zombie is going to be a challenge and a danger is in numbers. If I got like 5 Romero zombies coming after me, I can outrun them. I'm going to get away. Now, if there are 200 of them, 400 might still survive, but it's going to be a bit tougher. That's what makes the Romero zombie a challenge, Trent. However, the Danny Boyle 28 days later zombie is not actually a zombie. They are infected. You might say, infected by what? And I would say, infected by rage. They're infected by rage, Trent. And basically, the Danny Boyle 28 days later zombie is a super athlete. I mean, they run faster than you. They jump. They're jumping through freaking buildings and shit. It's the most scary thing ever. And if someone were to tell me, Rich, would you rather deal with 100 Romero zombies or 2 Danny Boyle 28 days later zombies? I'm dealing with the 100 Romero zombies. Because if I have to face 2 Danny Boyle crazy 28 days later zombies, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to die.
Your existence is going to be questionable.
I'm going to die because those things are they're these super athlete zombies. So when I hear a story about a man being hunted by zombies, I need to specifically know what kind of zombies we're dealing with here, so that I can appropriately and adequately give you survival advice. It's extremely important.
Taking any kind of advice from you is questionable, but
maybe not on this, Trent. Not on this. I am an expert on all things zombie.
That's excellent, man. You know what? People have people are experts in many different areas. I now know that you're an expert in zombies, and if I ever have a question about zombies, Rich Carroll will be the only individual that I'll go to get those questions answered, because you know anything and everything there is to know, even about just a zombie that you discovered for the first time.
I am one of the world's leading minds on the subject. Go no further than here. I'm the Super Radio Brothers. When looking for your zombie information, survival tips.
That's a great advertisement.
It's all right here, Trent. So, you can't. The people that write the movies don't know as much as me. It's just fact. It's fact.
You need to be up there with them.
It's also a fact that if you try to drive through wet concrete, you're not going to go anywhere.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Well, that's what we're here for. I'm trying to tell you what's going on out there. A woman is facing charges after she basically destroys a construction project driving her car through the concrete, wet concrete, by the way. Officers with the Rochester Police Department were first called to the scene because a 53-year-old woman was using a bullhorn to yell at people from her car. That's awesome. I always wanted to do that. If someone cuts me off, just have a bullhorn. The hell out of my way, shithead. It's whatever insult I can come up with. Yeah, just call people names.
I had a friend of mine who actually legit put a train horn on his car. That is no joke. He put a train horn on his vehicle and then honked at somebody at a red light, and unfortunately he found out that it was illegal.
I was thinking that, yeah.
The police told him to take it off, but I mean that was pretty great. It's pretty innovative.
It sounds like it would be illegal. You don't want to have it. It sounds like you might cause an accident.
I mean, if you're behind somebody, or if you're the guy with the train horns behind you, and all of a sudden, you would, oh man, you shit your pants.
Oh yeah, if I heard a train horn behind, how did I get on the track? I would get super scared.
Oh yeah,
start looking around, get in a car accident. But this lady, she's yelling at people from her car with a bullhorn. Then the police show up. She tries to speed away, crashes through the construction site, and she drives right into the wet concrete. I mean, what an idiot. The project's contractor reported $30,000 to $40,000 in damages, and it turns out, Trent, that the woman, I guess what she says, she's spreading the word of God. That's what the newspaper said. So,
well,
there are better ways.
right.
There are better ways, I'm sure. And so,
I would agree. But hey, you know that this is what. Now, let me ask you this before I move on to my next story here. Okay.
All right.
I do have to ask you, whenever you're on the road and you're driving, do you ever feel enraged sometimes by drivers? Like, do you ever feel like you just want to, it just depends on what kind of day you're having, but if somebody just cuts you off, is that like a trigger for one Rich Carroll? I mean,
have I ever blew up my toilet after a burrito and a milkshake? Yes.
Of course.
It goes without saying, Trent. There's plenty of times when you're on the road and another driver pisses you off. It's nothing like that really here in Florida. It's really more of a New York thing. When you drive in New York City, it's not like driving in Florida. Trying to get home through the 5 o'clock traffic rush hour is war. It's not driving. Oh, yeah. It is war. Whether you're talking about the BQE or the Cross Bronx Expressway, there are a lot of places in the city where on these major highways, and there are so many cars and so many people, where the lanes will go from 5 lanes, and then all of a sudden they'll go down to 3 lanes. So now everybody's trying to get in, and that is freaking war. It's just it's hard to describe. People who haven't had to drive through it don't really understand what it is. But I used to have to drive from Brooklyn to the Bronx every day for a time to go to and from work, and that was a 2-hour commute every day, and it was 2 hours of war. So there were plenty of people that I got upset with.
I can imagine.
Flipped off and yelled at, and for sure.
Oh man, I can imagine. Yeah, hey, it's always interesting to hear New York stories and stuff like that.
Driving in New York is not fun. It's and like I said, if you're driving during rush hour trying to get home, that's not driving. That's war. And I tell a lot of people the difference between driving in New York and say driving in Florida. In Florida, it's what I call non-stressful driving. It's just
I bet like Orlando traffic is nothing to you compared to New York.
No, I laugh at that. Although it does, now that I've been in Florida for a while, if I go down to Orlando in that stretch of I-4, it'll annoy me, and I'll get. But still, it's nothing compared to the wars that await you on, like I said, the Cross Bronx or the BQE, or I mean, you name it. The Bruckner Expressway. Go up and down the list. There's a war waiting for you if you're on the highway at a certain time, and it is not fun. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, let's move on from driving and talk about a disgruntled man setting fire.
Don't talk about me like that, Trent. Oh wait, I'm not the disgruntled man you're talking about. Oh,
I mean, you are disgruntled, but no, this is not you.
Maybe I jumped the gun there a little bit. By the way, since we were giving some sports updates and all that, NBA playoffs halftime, Game 2 between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics. The Celtics returning the favor so far here, 70-45 at the end of the first half, Trent.
Damn.
Boston Celtics up 20 points from Jason Tatum. Welcome back, Marcus Smart. And Jaylen Brown also had 15 points to add to the fun for the Boston Celtics in the first half there. So they look. And
Rich Carroll had nothing.
No, I had 0 points, but you know what? I got like 50 style points, bro. Just
50
saying.
Style.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. Well, if you're a Lightning fan tonight, you're really dancing on it for sure. There's no question about that.
You won, but those jerseys are a little plain. A little plain, just gonna throw that out there.
Oh man, that's that's awesome. Okay, so this is a man that's very disgruntled. He sets fire and urinates on an ATM. Can you believe that? And this
Sets
is no.
fire. Anytime I hear sets fire and urinates, I immediately know I'm going to get the greatest story of all time.
Well, here,
Because, dude,
let me.
right now it's like, I need to set a fire, but I also have to pee. Solution: I'm going to set fire and urinate.
Set fire to the rain.
Set fire and urinate. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
best thing to participate.
Okay.
Set fire
a ni-
and oh, sorry, Trent.
A 19-year-old man
Oh,
was
that was
detained in China after he set an ATM on fire and urinated on the flames. And but
What part was he
apparently,
arrested for?
Again, it doesn't say.
You see, Trent, that's why I'm a news guy. I have all the right questions, you know?
Well, I wish you were interviewing these people because they leave a lot of stuff out in their articles.
Oh, my goodness. They need to do better. They just need to
really
do better.
They really do. Kind of like your team.
Oh, which one? Which one?
The Knicks. Thankfully, they're not playing right now.
Knicks.
But your Knicks could.
By the way, we are going to get to sports. I'm sure you're going to have the NBA draft lottery in your
Heck
sports
yeah,
and everything
man! The
coming
Magic
up here.
they won the lottery. They're number one.
Yeah. So I'm sure you're going to talk about that. But yeah, the Knicks did not win the lottery. Spoiler. So okay, all right, yep. The Knicks have to be better. We've been saying that for 20 years, Trent.
Well, yeah, the Knicks and the Jets. I mean, I can't really say much about the Yankees right now because they're unfortunately on fire, which we'll talk about later on.
Yankees off to a historically good start. Not since 1998, the season I so fondly spoke about earlier, have the Yankees been off to this kind of start. Yankees are now, I think it's 29-10. In 98, when they won the 114 regular season games, the Yankees were 31-9. So this year, 29-10. That year, they were 31-9. So pretty much right on that super wild, crazy type of pace.
Hopefully, the Rays will take care of you next weekend.
Well, we will see. Rays always play the Yankees tough. There's no doubt.
Yeah. So, but anyway, what other stories you have?
What else do we have here? I'm just going to say this before I start this story, Trent. I'm loving it. What does that mean to you?
Nothing.
You could literally hear a voice of an angel say, I'm loving it. And that would mean nothing to you?
I mean, that's a good question. I don't know. I hadn't heard that. I mean, I've heard, I've never heard it sung like that. But I mean, I've always heard, I'm loving it.
That's the McDonald's theme song, right? Isn't that what they say?
That's right.
I'm loving it.
Yeah,
but I must have been such a good singer.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. You just didn't recognize it because I could sing so good. And I'm so really good with my voice at singing.
Shit.
So I understand how you didn't get it right away. But how about this, right? Rob and Grace Jones, you know them?
Oh, yeah.
You do? I'm shocked by the answer. Who are they? Because I don't know who they are. I'm what am I reading here?
They're just two guys.
Rob and Grace Jones wanted to replace a built-in toilet paper holder in their home in Crystal Lake, Illinois. Simple, right? Simple, very simple. Yeah. This happened on April 16th. Well, it wasn't so simple because it required them to cut into the wall of their bathroom. And what did they find when they opened up that wall, Trent?
Oh, no.
They found a towel. And that towel contained 2 McDonald's hamburger wrappers and a full order of French fries, vintage 1959.
Wow.
How about that?
Ugh.
And it was perfectly preserved, the French fries. And they ate them with ketchup, and it was delicious, and only one person got sick.
And who was that person?
I think the one just had an accident. No,
Yes.
they didn't eat the French fries, Trent. I made up half of that, but the story
I'm
is
sure
real.
you did. Hey man, that's pretty interesting though. I mean, shoot, from 1959. I mean, that's why now. There's nothing like of course, I'm used to the McDonald's from the early 2000s, and I mean,
I'm loving it.
yeah, they're still pretty much the same.
Trent, you ever see the movie Super Size Me?
I've heard of it. Yes, I've never seen it, but
That's the movie where back in the day, McDonald's had supersizing. You ever hear of supersizing?
Oh yeah. Whenever you do like an extra large, like the largest you can get, like drink and order fries. And
You
all
get
that.
basically you show up, and they got medium, large, and supersize. And if you say, okay, supersize me, they basically give you a bucket of soda, a bucket of fries to go with your burger. I mean, it was huge. Well, this dude in Supersize Me, he says, you know what I'm going to do? The filmmaker, he says, I'm going to eat McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the entire month, and I'm going to supersize every meal. And at the end of the month, he got super sick. And he kind of documents the whole thing in that movie. And as a result of that movie, McDonald's, that's how they stopped the whole supersize thing.
Right.
That movie kind of forced their hand. So you're making people unhealthy. Maybe supersizing isn't such a great idea. So anyway, but these burgers existed long before the supersize era, Trent. They were talking about 1959 French. I wonder, that's one of the cool things people don't talk about. People always talk about time travel. Do I want to go back in time? Maybe step into Yankee Stadium in 1923 opening day and see Babe Ruth whack a home run out of the park. Maybe I could go back in time and see that. Well, let me ask you that, Trent. If you ever had a chance to go back in time, is there an era you would want to check out?
Let's see. I'm a fan of music from the late 60s, 70s, and into the 80s. I've heard a lot of interesting things went down at Woodstock. And people who lived through Woodstock
that's a good
don't
one.
even remember it. If they say if you lived through Woodstock, you don't even remember it.
Right.
The
Or the 60s in general, I guess,
Oh yeah, I'd love to check out the 60s in general. You had 1960. Yeah, you had all those kind of different things. You had like classic cars come out from the 60s, and it was pretty.
You give a good one there, though. Woodstock's a great one, and a lot of people who are music people would say, I want to go back to Woodstock. I want to see Hendrix on stage doing the national anthem and that whole thing, and just Janis Joplin, the whole thing. Just go back there and experience Woodstock and all the amazing performances that took place over that weekend in upstate New York. Really the most famous music festival of all time. Through the years here, growing up, I've gone to many Lollapaloozas, Warped Tours, things like that. But now they have Coachella, right? That's the big thing. But all of those things exist because Woodstock made it successful. To have a weekend music festival, legendary musicians performing, and there are a couple of stories, people who could have went and were advised not to perform at Woodstock, and they regret it to this day because it's such a legendary music festival. But you hit on something there, because a lot of people who you ask, hey, if you had a chance to go back in time, what would you go back in time and see? And if you're a music guy, Woodstock is definitely what you would point to. Or someone like me, if you're a Yankee fan, you would talk about going back to opening day 1923, see Babe Ruth open the new Yankee Stadium with a home run. That would be something to check out and see, and just get the different senses of the stadium, the smells, because, you see pictures from baseball games in the 20s and 30s. You got guys smoking cigars out there. Everybody's wearing a suit. It'd be interesting to see what it would be like to be at a game at that time. I love history. So there are so many eras I would like to go back and check out. Definitely, first century Rome would be something that would be interesting, just as Athens also. But I think my whole point getting into this was people talk about errors or specific events like you did with Woodstock that you'd like to go back in time and check out. How about food? I want to see what McDonald's tasted like in 1959. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what a taco tasted like in 1933. That's interesting to me. How different does food taste today compare? Does McDonald's fries in 1959 taste like they do in 2022? It's a very interesting question to me, Trent.
See, I couldn't, because I don't go to McDonald's all that often, but whenever I do, I like the I indulge in their fries. Just so good.
I wonder, maybe the burgers tasted more, I don't know, like home burgers or something. I'm sure it has to taste different. Food back then has to taste different, man. You know what I mean?
The burgers there these days are so small.
Oh yeah. It's all bread. Now you have to pay extra to have meat. You know that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's like basically, can I get a cheeseburger and like 90% of it's bread and like 10% of it's meat and cheese? It's pretty bad. And all the other fixings that you have on it.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
But anyway, on from that, I need to ask you, and this will be my wrap up story here. I need to ask you, Rich, what is the weirdest compliment you've ever received?
The weirdest?
Because I have a list here that I want to share with you.
One time someone told me I have diarrhea of the mouth, and I took it as a compliment. So,
I mean, I would agree with that, but I mean, that's okay. Well, there are 6 compliments here that are some of the weirdest that you'll ever come across.
All right.
You look like you read books for fun.
Yeah, that's weird.
You ate that apple very neatly. Your handwriting is very satisfying. Your teeth are so flat. And I'm sorry.
That one I don't get. Every other one before your teeth are so flat would be an odd compliment. I like the other one so far, though. So
that was it.
Let's go over them, Trent. Go back to the first one. What was the first one you said?
You look like you read books.
You look like, but what was it? Having fun while reading books? What was the first one?
It was like you look like you read books constantly or something. Hold on, let me go back to it. My bad.
Yeah. Just go back to that first one there. Let's go back here.
Okay, all right. Let's go back here. If I can get my thing to move backwards. Let's see. Okay. You look like you read books for fun.
You look like you read books. Trent, that one, I would get it, and I would think that's a good compliment because reading is boring. I think we all agree. It's extremely boring and a waste of time. So I agree. That would be a great compliment to me.
Oh, yeah.
We all
Especially
agree.
Whenever I was a kid, I thought that.
Yeah. So what's the next one?
The next one is you ate that apple very neatly.
Let's be honest. You ever watch a person eat an apple, it's pretty disgusting. All right?
Yeah.
Don't eat that apple with your hands, bro. Cut it into pieces and enjoy it neatly. All right? I don't want to see someone slobbering all over an apple. That is a great compliment. I don't think it's weird at all. What's the next one, Trent?
And I'm sure that you've read some terrible handwriting. So whenever somebody tells you that your handwriting is very satisfying, I'm sure that actually does satisfy you.
If someone said, I would say, who are you talking to? Because my handwriting is legitimately awful. So I don't think I would ever receive. Yeah, I don't think I would ever receive that compliment. But
I'm glad I don't have to read it.
But I do think that's a very good compliment. And what I think there was one more, right?
Yeah, and then the last one was your teeth are so flat. Now that I don't understand.
That I don't get. Like, what am I, a dinosaur? You're shocked? Like, what am I supposed to have? Round teeth? What's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, what does that even mean?
I can understand, like, if they weren't straight. I mean, that, like, you got
flat.
crooked teeth.
Yeah, I don't get that one, Trent. That one's the other ones I thought were great. I didn't find anything weird about those at all. How about this, Trent? You know what? Scientists. This is truly remarkable, and this is one of the things where I look at the world and I wonder why this isn't bigger news than it actually is. So we seem to concern ourselves with the oddest things as a human species. But according to this, for the first time, scientists have grown plants in soil from the moon, collected by NASA's Apollo astronauts. They've actually been able to sprout and grow plants out of lunar soil. Holy cow! I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Holy cow!
Now, if we could just get some cows up on the moon, give some compost, poop everywhere, fertilizer, we'll start growing shit all over the moon. It'll be great. This is an incredible, and it's so amazing that you don't think about these things, but this is moon soil returned by Apollo 11's Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. You ever hear of those guys? Only the most famous astronauts of all time, the original moonwalkers, even before Michael Jackson. All right. The seeds sprouted. Now, wasn't perfect. After the first week, the lunar soil stressed the small flowering weeds so much that they grew more slowly than seedlings planted in earth dirt. So, however, through science, you can add nutrients to the soil. There are ways to make it effective. So it's just another reminder that it is very possible for humanity at some point here to have a moon base. We can grow food on the moon. It's possible. And one day, Trent, I will live there.
I'm sure you will.
It's my dream, and you can't take it away from me. I'm going to live on the moon.
You got some weird-ass dreams.
And I'm going to grow apples on the moon because apples are delicious, and I eat them neatly.
I'm glad you ate that apple so neatly. By the way, do you put peanut butter on your apples? Are you?
Yeah, that's good. I like apples. Just about one of my favorite things is apple pie, Trent. So
of course,
delicious.
Everybody loves apple pie.
Throw some ice cream on that shit. Woo! Then add a milkshake. Another explosive toilet. That's how this stuff goes down. It's very important to remind people that that's how this stuff goes down. If you want that to happen, you can avoid it.
Oh yeah.
If that makes any sense, question. Which it doesn't.
Congratulations.
Trent, do you anybody in your family have one of those what would they call it? Personalized license plates?
I think my granddad had one years ago, but he doesn't have it anymore. No, not currently, no. But
do you remember what it was?
What's that?
Do you remember what it was?
No, I do not. I honestly don't.
Was it Wanker?
Oh, man. No.
Well, it couldn't have been Wanker because that was rejected by the state of Florida. I have a list, Trent, of license plates approved and rejected in Florida.
Okay. Lay it amongst me.
McNasty made it through, but Mr. Poop tragically didn't.
Okay.
All right, let's look at some of these. I like this one, Trent. So here we go. The first three designations, SXY, okay? SXY space GRMA.
Those abbreviations? What are they?
Well, it's a license plate. So okay. SXY GRMA, that's sexy grandma. And
yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, it makes sense.
Now,
sexy grandma. Okay.
Guess what, Trent? Here's the game we're playing. Did the state of Florida approve or disapprove sexy grandma? Go.
Disapproved.
Sexy grandma got the green light from state officials.
Wow,
amazing.
They did.
It did. So, okay. How about this one, Trent? DOO space DOO. In my estimation, that spells doo-doo. Did the state of Florida approve for a personalized license plate? Do. You sound concerned. You're very. You're not sure where to go with this one.
Yes. Did they approve it?
It was rejected.
What?
Oh, yeah. Sexy Grandma was approved, but do was rejected. Here's
Dude, it was like 10 times harmless than Sexy Grandma.
This might be my favorite of the group here, Trent. This one's good. The letter, okay, here we go. UID space IOT. And by my estimation, that is...
Yes, you idiot.
You idiot. Did that make the cut by the state of Florida, Trent?
Would that have your face on it if if that's talking about you? Like, would that be would your face be on that thing?
Yeah,
like on the,
hell yeah. No, I would. Well, it would be a picture of me pointing at the person driving behind me. You idiot.
Keeping with the pattern here. I'm kind of seeing a pattern.
All right.
So I'm going to go with the since the first one was approved and the second one was rejected. I'm going to go with the you idiot will probably be. No, you know what? I'm going to say it was rejected. Was it rejected or was it approved?
Lock him in, Fred, at reject. No. All right, we're going to lock you in, Trent. Rejected. Man, you see, when you start bringing strategy into the game, that improves your chances because, yes, you idiot was rejected by the state of Florida. Okay, I'll give you two more here, okay? I'll give you two more. Another one that might be, well, let's go with this one first. Let's go with this one because this one was weird. So, SATN space LVS. That would be Satan Lives by my estimation.
Oh, yeah, okay.
SATN, very evil and inappropriate, I would say.
I would too, and I think that should have been rejected.
Trent,
I would have rejected.
That was approved by the state of Florida.
You got to be kidding.
So somehow, Sexy Grandma and you idiot and Mr. Poop get rejected, but somehow Satan Lives. Someone's driving around somewhere out there in the state of Florida with that license plate. So somehow
there are some exceptions made to this rule. There's no doubt about that.
One more because I really like it. This one's good. So MO space STIKY. Mo Stinky. That's what I got out of it. Or it could be Mo Sticky. I'm thinking it means stinky though. Mo Stinky.
Yeah. Basically, is it saying like you stink?
Oh no! Wait, we forget about that one, Trent. This one's better. You ready? You ready for this one? This one's even better. Check it out. The letter I space GOTA space P.
I gotta pee.
I gotta pee. The greatest license plate of all time. Was that approved or rejected? I gotta pee.
Man, I would have gave it the green light.
I mean, I think that sounds cool to me. At least warn people, dude, don't tailgate. I gotta pee.
I gotta pee.
Yeah. That was rejected.
You gotta be kidding.
But someone's driving around out there. Satan Lives. It's really true, Trent. Okay. And finally, I got one more story for you here. How do you like it so far? Are you shocked by that, Trent? That whole well, let me ask you this: how about your car? Can you think of anything cool if you were to get a personalized license plate on your car? Is there anything that you would have in mind?
Let's see if I maybe like the Yankees suck or something. That might be
Oh,
cool.
you have to go You're not
Oh,
from Boston, bro. That is true, though. Tampa Yankees have become pretty solid rivals over the last couple years.
I'm not from Boston, but I could say, I could write that on my license plate.
I would expect that more from a Boston fan, though, Trent.
Okay, no, I'll probably come up with some. Let me ask me that later in the show, and I want to. I'm going to think about this while I do my other stuff. While we do our other stuff here, because I'm going to come up with some clever name by the end of the show. I have to.
We are. You know what? I like it. I want to see what super clever name you come up with. My license plate.
It may or may not involve you. I don't know.
It should. But my license plate would be the letter RICH space COOL. Rich Cool. Rich Cool.
And then people would be driving by laughing. That's what they would do. They drive by.
But they don't know me. They don't know how cool I am. That's that bullshit. I'll tell you what else. How about instead of Rich Cool, just BE space COOL.
Be cool. Okay, that sounds better.
I like that.
Yeah.
I bet you that would be approved. I think I
Rich cool. That sounds like an oxymoron.
Oh, who's that's how dare you call me a moron, Trent? That's not cool. That's not cool, bro. All right, and finally,
he's lost. He has no idea what to say.
How dare you, Trent? Call me a moron.
I know.
On this show. An oxymoron at that. That's basically like instead of just being a hero, you say superhero. When someone's a moron and you call them an oxymoron, it means they're really a moron. So that's messed up. That's not cool. I'm just saying.
I just entertained myself tonight.
Finally, Trent, Australia's oldest man. He's 111 years old.
Oh man!
Can you imagine being 11 years old and you're going to live for 100 more years?
I can't imagine. No.
I mean, I'm 40 and I'm going to live 100 more years. So I can't imagine. I was just asking you.
No, I can't imagine that. That's crazy.
Right.
And I was 11 over 10 years ago. So.
Oh yeah. Sometimes I forget how super old you are.
I know.
You're like the oldest dude I know, Trent.
I'm young and happy.
Well, I won't argue with that. That's a good thing. So
yeah.
I bring this up to you, Trent, to benefit you and anyone who's listening. This man, he's 111 years old. He actually has a very specific secret to his longevity.
And that would be?
What do you think it is?
Well, a lot of people, if they live longer, a lot of people like eat healthier and exercise and kind of stay active.
People who eat healthy and exercise die, dude. Yeah, I'm talking about something that gets you to live to 111 years old.
That's a good. I don't know.
Well, this dude, Australia's oldest man, he's 111. All right. He says that his secret to longevity. Get ready, and I gotta ask you if you're gonna go through with this now, Trent. Now that we know what the secret to living forever is, he says that his secret to his longevity is every day eating chicken brains.
Chicken brains.
Chicken brains.
Is that what you just said to me?
Chicken. He eats chicken brains, dude. He eats chicken brains out there in Australia. He says.
I mean, I like chicken, but I like the leg. I like the thigh, but I don't think I've ever eaten a brain.
Yeah, I've eaten those things too. Chicken leg, chicken breast, thigh, all very delicious. I've had the Colonel's bucket before. It's great. But no, I'm talking about a chicken's brain. All right, retired cattle rancher Dexter Kruger, who turned 111 years old this year. He's he wasn't a World War II veteran, but he was around in World War II. That's saying something, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, Trent.
Oh.
Kruger told Australian Broadcasting Corps in an interview that his milestone can be contributed to eating chicken brains. And I'll give you his own words, Trent. Are you ready?
Yep, lay it amongst me.
Chicken brains! You know, chicken brains! Dad, that's how a guy from Australia sounds to me. Chicken brains! They have a head. Chickens have a... Do I sound like an Australian? Is that close? It's pretty close, I think. Chicken brains. You know, chickens have a head. And in there, there's a brain. And they're delicious little things. Now, he goes on to say, Trent, that they're very small. And there's only one little bite.
Oh, man.
I mean, all it takes is one little bite every day of this chicken brain, Trent, and you're going to live to 111 years old. You're going to start getting yourself some chicken brains or what?
I mean, I'm going to go to a chicken place and ask them if they have chicken brains. That's
you're going to go for it. Wow, yeah. Okay. I thought the answer would be no, but obviously you are a very brave and adventurous individual.